Good evening. It's Monday, June 29th, 2009, and tonight we're going to show off a payment Dropbox feature which utilizes a couple new gems that I'll save till the end to talk about. But what it does is allows you to expose a payment button, say on your blog, to accept payments in complementary currency, and the visitor who's making the payment doesn't have to give up her username and password since we're using OAuth. So they'll click on the button, they'll authorize the payment, and then we'll be paid. And so since we're using OAuth, first thing we have to do is visit the OAuth's clients on our currency server and register this in our case, a blogging application, which will be making payments or setting up the payments. And for our purposes, the only thing we need to do is copy and paste our OAuth credentials into our blogging software. And last time we showed how to quickly set it up with Heroku. One thing we didn't show is how Heroku does preferences. It uses environment variables, and as you can see, I've set up the token and the secret, just cut and pasted from here, and then I have to say who I am on the system, and then I have to say what server we're using. And so you can see two things that there's room for improvement for is this ID. It would be better if it was an open ID, but right now the API doesn't support that. The good news is that the oscurrency does support OpenID, so changing the API should be trivial to accept OpenIDs. The other thing is here we've limited to accepting payments at one server. As you can imagine, in the future that might not be very desirable. So let's get started with our blog and show off this great new feature. I haven't set up DNS on this, so we've got the default kind of Heroku setup. So here, gonna have a spaghetti dinner, and we're gonna keep track of who's made dinner and credit them, and then the people who attend dinner will pay. So I'm saying if you want to reserve your spot and prepay for dinner, click this Pay Now button. We do that, and so I'm going to authorize this payment. I haven't made any changes on the server to support this demo. So one thing is that the wording here is very generic. It doesn't tell you how much the payment is for. So we do need to do some server-side stuff, but just to get a sense of what's going on, we're just the only code we've changed is on the client. So I authorize this payment, and voila, payment succeeded. And then I can go back here and see if I refresh. We've got the new one unit of payment, and we can also specify the reason for the payment and the API. We didn't do that here. So let's see, how did we enable this? And this is the part for the Ruby on Rails developers appreciation. There's a new gem called OAuthActiveResource that was being used for SoundCloud, and SoundCloud has a very nice SoundCloud front demo app which shows you how to use their API. And it works. I had to make some changes, and I'll detail those in the blog post. But this is the first instance I know of a wrapper for ActiveResource that lets you use OAuth instead of HTTP authorization, and that's really nice. And then, of course, I have a wrapper for the oscurrency API, which is a gem, and that's oscurrency Ruby API wrapper. And you can find that at Here's Tom with the Weather. So I hope you enjoyed this screencast. I think it was neat. And let me know if you have any questions or ways to improve it. I will do my best to support this new gem, this API gem, because I think it allows for some very cool experimentation with new apps. So I'll see you next time. Thanks.